Hey, it's Dottie. It is Tuesday, October 25th, 2011. This video is to talk about that book that I just finished reading called Heaven is for Real. And I'm going to try to say a little bit about it without totally giving everything away, but my guess is that many of you may have read about this on the news or heard about it on the news because it is based on a true story of a young family from Nebraska. The father is a pastor, the mother is a teacher. They own a business, garage door business, and they had 2 kids at that time. Colton was 3 going on 4, and his older sister, who was about 6 or 7 I think at the time. Anyway, basically Colton had to have an emergency surgery for a burst appendix, and it came out over time that while he was in the hospital he went to heaven. And so basically, if this were, an adult, I could have my doubts, I guess. And I know I'm just reading this in a book, but stuff like this coming from a 3- and 4-year-old child, I tend to want to believe, because how does someone come up with this, and it's not just all, granted there was talk of angels singing to me, and I sat on Jesus's lap, and I met King David, that kind of thing, whatever. But to have your son come up to you one day and say, Mom, I have 2 sisters. And, no, honey, you only have 1. No, I have 2. You had a baby die in your tummy, didn't you, Mom? Imagine how, stunned you would be if your 3-year-old came up to you and said that. And this is not anything they as parents told him before, because they felt he was too young to understand. And so Mom is like, who told you that? Well, she did, Mom. In heaven, she told me she died in your tummy. Can you even imagine? I can't even imagine what I would feel like if my toddler, basically, very young child, 3 years old, came up to me and told me that. So that was just one incident in the book. I'm not going to tell you about all the others, but it was a good book, and I would definitely recommend it. Now, not everybody is a believer and that kind of thing, but and I'm not saying you have to be in order to read the book, but it would be interesting, how one would feel that's not a believer, after they read this. I don't know. After, when I finished the book today at lunch, I cried, and I just had these feelings of butterflies in my stomach. It was an incredible feeling, really, and I didn't quite understand it or get it, and so I just kind of sat there in my car and just thought about it all, reflected on it and everything, but wow, that's kind of all I have to say. That just really sums it up, actually. I think it would be quite amazing to meet this family, and and I honestly believe that they didn't write the book for the money or the attention or anything like that. Being a pastor, I think it's an amazing story, and I honestly think that I would probably share it too. So yeah, if you haven't read it, I would recommend it. I think it's a good book. It's a fast read. I started it on Friday at lunch, and I just finished it today. So, and there's even some pictures in the book of the family. And I think there's a website, heavenisforreal.net, I think is what it is. And I haven't checked that out yet though. But yeah, it's quite an amazing story. So, and I seem to have found a liking for reading again, so I think I'm going to keep doing that at lunchtime. It helps me to unwind from work and relax, and it also exercises my brain. So, yeah, but it has to be a good book or it's not going to hold my attention and I'll end up falling asleep in the car. So, yeah, gotta be a good book. If you have any recommendations, feel free to comment. I also, in the past, read The Shack. That's another Christian type book. That was really good, and I cried at that one too. So, anyway, I think that's it. I know it's not the most amazing book review because I've never done one of these, and I'm not exactly sure what to tell you, but if you have questions, let me know in the comments and I will respond. So, with that, I will talk to y'all later. I wish you peace and love and smiles. Bye.